Shannon here with Shannon Sizzlen Stampers, and I'm coming to you today on my YouTube to share a final fun Halloween card, and I call it The Hunt for the Tarantula. So we're going to be using our Frightful Tags dies. As you can see there, they are the perfect, they're upside down, so let me turn those. You can see these are the perfect ones, and you've seen me use them before. The spider web is what we're going to use today, but I love some of these label pieces that you can use year round, as well as the fence post. The stars are good, the owl, the bear tree. Really, the only thing that may be semi-limited is the witch hat, which could also be a sorcerer hat for certain wizard shows, etc. So we're going to be using those, and I have already, to save time, I've gone ahead and I have already die cut out the black spider web. So then we're going to pair it with our cute little tarantula spider out of our Clever Cat set and a sentiment. So let's go ahead and begin. This is a cute and very simple card. If you need a card last minute for something and for Halloween, and you have some of these supplies or something to make similar, to use similar, you'll be in good hands. Now we're going to start with a white card base, which I know you may not think that that's very Halloween-y, but I like the white because I really want that spider web to pop on it. And I'm going to be using a strip of our Designer Series paper. This is the stripe. The back side has this black and white scraggly scratch patch pattern. And this is from our Cutest Halloween Designer Series paper 6x6 inch pack. We're also going to be using a piece of Highland Heather solid cardstock. Now the Highland Heather is cut at 4 1/4 wide by 1 3/4. And our Designer Series paper is cut the same length, so that, or the width, the same from here to here, that is still 4 1/4, because I'm not going to put a full frame around this, just a top and bottom border. And it is 1 1/2 inches wide. So let's go ahead, step one, and we'll go ahead and glue that Designer Series paper to our Highland Heather. Now we're not going to quite glue that down on our card yet, because we want to be able to allow ourselves the ability to adjust it should we need to. So what we're going to do here, and this is somewhat different than what you may normally see me do with a card. Most of the time you're probably going to see the weight of this paper be at the bottom third, because that just seems to be my go-to. But today we're going to put this up in the top half of the card, and we're going to weight the bottom half with part of our spider webbing and really make the spider web and spider a bit of the focal point. I'm going to go ahead and take our scissors, and I'm going to actually use my big straight edge, and I'm going to cut that spider web in half. So I'm actually going to use the half that has the rim on it. That's the half I'm going to end up using, just so I can get a little bit more glue when I end up going there. And I'm going to cut myself a little bit more webbing, because I actually want to end up putting this up in the corner here. And we're going to play with that. See, we want to get it to where it kind of aligns, so I may need the bigger piece. So something on this might be better to figure out that line and then trim down. So that's kind of the look I'm going for at the moment. We'll see if I change along the way. All right, so as you can see, we are kind of getting to that little bit of spideriness with the webs. I don't know how many of you are familiar with tarantulas, but out here in Colorado, when I first moved here, it was crazy, because the first fall that I was here, people told me, oh, you've got to go out east and see the big tarantula migration. And I was like, what are you talking about? But it's for real. It's a real thing out here. Apparently, spiders travel 600 to 700 miles. They migrate to come to this area every time, the end of September through for about a month's period of time. All right, so I've got that laid out. Now I want to go ahead and I'm going to get out my sentiment that I'm going to stamp directly to the card, which is also something else that I normally do not do. I'm also going to go ahead and get out my little spider and the spider drop string. I don't know what that's scientifically called, but I'm going to call it a drop string. So we're going to start, we're going to put our, it's Halloween. And by the way, all of our Halloween stamp sets this year all include a spider. So you've got 3 sets that you could choose from, and they all include a spider. But I chose to use the Clever Cats because mainly it was one that I hadn't used as frequently. I'd been using the Cutest Halloween a ton. So I thought I'd give a little bit more time to Clever Cats. All right, so we're going to stamp that direct right there in that lower corner. Now we are going to take our cutest ever little spider guy or girl. So I'm looking kind of here at where is my spider web going to be, and I'm just determining how much of that I'm going to have dangle down from my spider. And you don't have to make this super straight at this point, and you can go up a little further. So what you want to look at is, at the end of the day, how far down is the spider going to end up coming? And you can put that little string wherever you want, because we're going to be really covering it up. It's more for, I'm actually using that drop string a little bit more as a guide, and you're going to see why in just a bit. But let's go ahead and get our cute tarantula on there. The other thing that's interesting about tarantulas, they are similar, though not as venomous and deadly as the funnel spider in Australia. But the females do their nests, I guess it's a nest, their home, whatever, is in the ground, and they do web over it kind of similarly. I'm going to be taking a little bit of our black and white twine, and I'm merely going to take this apart. So I'm going to cut myself a piece, and I'm just going to pull that apart because I only want a little, and I'm just going to take my fingers and kind of re-twist that black a little bit. And if it doesn't twist, I'm probably not going to be too mad. I'm just going to pull one little thread out, because ultimately, you know, spiders have a very fine web. And the reason I chose the black thread is because I'm using the black as a spider web on the white card. Another really nice option would be doing a black card base and using a white, like the white shimmer paper. Well, my goodness, my glue doesn't want to come out. Using the black shimmer paper as the webbing could be nice. And then what I would do in that case is I would pull that apart, or use our, you're going to want really one fine piece of that thread. Guys, I am so sorry. I'm having such an issue with my glue coming out. There we go. But what I might do to that white to match it up to the shimmer paper is use my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to get that on just like so and trim my thread. Use the Wink of Stella over the thread before I glued it on, and then that way the thread is going to have a little hint of sparkle in it, just like the paper would. All right, So now I'm going to match that spider webbing up to the little fine thread that I've created. And I'm just going to use, again, some of that Tombow glue. I didn't grab my silicone mat. I am always forgetting to bring that with me. It should just be a regular, although I'm filming not at my desk. So I'm going to line my web up like that. And I press that down like so. Okay. Now is where we will come in with our paper. And you're going to layer that up to where you like it, where it's at in comparison to your web. So for me, I really want that edge of black probably not show. I wanted the edge for more gluing capability, if that makes sense, because it's a little bit thicker. I just don't want that to adhere. I forgot to put my extra little piece, oh my goodness, of spider web on my card corner here. And I really want to match that up. And it looks like I need to move my paper over slightly. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more glue on this. But it's difficult to get enough glue on these fine. You could also use our fine liquid glue pen. That's why I liked having that thicker edge there to apply some adhesive. It's not that I necessarily wanted it to show, but more. Okay, so I've got that coming into a corner. Now we want to take this. I'm going to make sure we have that coming up. All right, let me flip this upside down. I know that's crazy for you guys, but I just sometimes get it even. I have to see it I have to do it from a different direction. All right, so now we've got that laid on, and we see this little bit of excess hang off of spider webbing. We just take that and take it and cut it right down. So now we have a nice little extra piece of webbing. Now I've still got one more piece of little bit of webbing, and I'm going to bring it and attach it right over on this bottom corner. And to do that, I'm going to actually unfold my card, put some little bit of glue, so you get 3 little webbings from this one spider web. So I got to flip that. We want it to come up and right there to corner in, and it'll really draw attention to the sentiment that way. And then with the card base open, just trim that down. All right, so we've got all that trimmed. The glue will dry clear, so that's the nice thing about that. And now we've got one other little thing that we're going to come in and add. I'm just going to press that down real quick. All right, so now we want just a little bit more zhuzh. So I'm going to take our super cute self-adhesive stars, and I want to just put them in a variety of places. And I'm going to use a variety of the colors and a variety of the sizes. You could put even more stars if you want, but I kind of want this to have a clean, crisp finish to this card. And I just really want to spotlight this spider. Now, I'm just going to show you one more option that you could do with your spider if you wanted. By no means is this required. It's just a little extra step and it's cutting out and stamping. We're going to stamp another spider. Don't freak out. We are not going to cut around all of those 8 little legs. Not even me would like that. But I am going to cut right around the little circle body as close as I can. And you'll notice that's why I'm using our wonderful paper snips. You see me usually use 2 pairs of scissors. The paper snips are my ones that I go to for fussy cutting. Our paper snips have that curved blade, and that is what's wonderful for fussy cutting. You can get into little tiny things, and you can go around circles and round really easily. Whereas like this, you will see me use the straight edge when I'm doing something, when I need to cut a paper straight, because I can't get a straight cut with my snips, my paper snips. I'm not that good. I'm not that great of a cutter. All right, now for me, I find it easiest to put this little dimensional onto my stamped spider, the one that's already on the card. And because you have to use such a minor, this is smaller than a mini dimensional, okay? You have to cut a mini in about kind of like a pie cut. And then we can add our little spider head right on top. And if you have the black dimensionals, this would be a great time to pull those out. I actually don't own those. But now our little spider seems to really pop off the page. And let me just tell you, that's how a tarantula is. They literally just pop out of the road for you. When we started looking, and in some parts, we didn't go down far enough south, but in some parts, they are a mass migration across the road. But my friend said, oh, just watch along the road. You'll see the spider come across the road. And I was like, what? How am I going to see a spider? But they are big enough. When I finally was the one to spot one on the road, they really are. So that's my ode to the tarantula, is making him really pop out big, because they are, when you see one, you know it. You will know that you've seen one. So if you're questioning whether you saw it or not, you probably didn't, because if you see it, you will know it. All right, I hope you've had fun with this card video today. Make sure you don't miss my personal tarantula hunt. I hope you've enjoyed that along with this card. So I will see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share this video. I love when you share and like my videos. It helps me. It helps me to know that you're following, and it helps pull me up on YouTube and Facebook. It makes me easier to find. So thanks for sharing, liking, and subscribing, and I will catch you guys next time. Happy Halloween.